Assalamualaikum. My name is Sajid. I am honored to present my PhD. First of all, I present my outline. I start with introduction, following with theoretical and empirical literature view of my study, then conceptual framework, afterward data and methodology section, then analysis and interpretation, then discussion, conclusion, and in the last, policy implication and future direction of my study. Here is my some short key achievements. I have published 3 papers in SSCI and ESCI journals, which one is which is published in 2020-25. The journal is Clean Technologies and Environmental Policy, having impact factor 4.7. This is a SSCI journal. Another paper which is published in Sustainable Future, having impact factor 4.9. This is a ESCI journal. My third paper appeared in Environmental Science and Pollution Research. One of my paper which is under consideration in Natural Resource Forum. This is also SSCI journal. Now I discuss about the introduction of my study. First of all, financial system. Financial system is the backbone of every nation. A stable financial system is essential for increasing investor confidence, promoting long-term development, and mitigating the risk associated with climate changes. Then financial crisis. The financial crisis underscored the necessity of financial system to foster monetary growth and financial stability. Now move to financial stability. Financial stability is the ability of a financial institutions to observe, is the ability of a financial system of a country to observe shocks and ensures that the most important services such as lending, credits, payments, etc. continue to run efficiently even in a financial crisis period. Then financial institutions. Financial institutions are essential for preserving environmental sustainability and ensuring financial stability of the economy. Then move to financial inclusion, which is the major factor of my study. Financial inclusion is the process of ensuring that individuals and businesses have access to affordable and essential financial services such as banking, credit, and insurance to foster economic growth. Participation. Financial inclusion is the essential for achieving the long-term prosperity and well-being. Now I move to the concept of financial inclusion in BRI economies. In BRI economies, financial inclusion remains a significant challenge with disparities in access to financial services. If we take an example of Pakistan, in which 2020-23, 64% of formal account, but only 30% of women account, which is a significant gap with low banking usage, financial literacy, and which undermine the financial stability by limiting the economic participation and resilience. Now move to environmental sustainability. This is the other indicator of my study. Environmental sustainability is crucial for financial stability. It reduces the environmental risk and support long-term economic resilience. The concept of environmental sustainability in BRI economies. Many BRI countries continue on high carbon emission, like China emitting 12.6 gigatons of carbon emission in 2020-23, which is a 4.7% increase from the previous years. This trend highlights the growing environmental strain as ecological footprint consumption has risen across BRI member countries since 2014. Now move to institutional quality. Strong institutions make foundation efforts, expand financial inclusion, and enhance financial stability. A nation's capacity to attain and sustain environmental sustainability with the highly dependent on the robustness and the caliber of its institutions. If we talk about technological innovation, digitalization transforms the financial sector, enhancing inclusion and allowing financial institutions to quickly adapt to evolving needs through technological innovations. This is the introduction of my study. Now we move to statement of the problem. In BRI economies, environmental risk, institutional weakness, and the inaccessibility to finances is the major problem which complicates the process of granting financial stability. According to World Bank Report 2020, financial exclusion within the BRI economies poses a significant risk to regional financial stability as it limits access to essential financial services, hindering inclusive growth and economic integration. Another report, which is published by Financial Stability Board 2020, financial tremors and climate risk can severely affect financial system worldwide. Therefore, ignoring environmental risk fail to ensure long-term financial stability. Another report, which is published by IMF 2023, highlighting the damaging effect of the environmental disaster on financial stability. Weak financial sector amplify natural shocks, causing cascading effect on the financial system worldwide. This is the graphical presentation of my problem statement. My study has three problems. First one is financial exclusion. Second one is environmental vulnerability. Third one is institutional and technological roadblocks. Now we move to gap of the study. First one is multidimensional gap. Numerous studies have explored the relationship between financial inclusion and the financial stability, but these studies use the single proxy indicator. Singles are some of studies use two proxies, but I have used financial inclusion index, which is developed by principal component analysis. Another contribution of my study here is I have also developed the financial stability index. Then panel data gap. Most of the studies are the time series data, but these are the issues which is highlighting in my problem statement is a panel data. So I use the panel data to describe this. Third one is regional gap. Many studies are the other regions like Asian, BRICS countries, South Asian, but my studies, which is including the BRI economies, which with their diverse economic structure and governance structure, provide a rich foundation for studying the impact of financial inclusion and financial stability. The third one is gap, methodological gap. Several studies use GMM, ALDL, NALDL and other technique which is used for business, but my study used MMQR, which is the method of moment quantile regression. If we evaluate the OLS assumption, then the MMQR sufficiently work, and other technique which use cross-sectional dependency, CSERDL. Now we move to methodology section. First one is research design. My study have quantitative research design. Second was the research paradigm. My study have positivism, like we have the measurable context in this study. Third one is population. My study have BRI countries, which is almost 150 countries. The sample, on the basis of data availability and the reliability of the data, we take a 68 BRI countries as a sample. The period which is used 2004 to 2020-24. And the next is sampling technique. We use convenience sampling to choose this sample. If we talk about rationale of BRI, why we use BRI countries? BRI region with 150 countries of diverse economic and governance structure provide a rich foundation about the key issues like financial exclusion, environmental changes on financial stability. So we choose the BRI as a populations. Now we move to measurement of variables. First one, the dependent variable is financial stability. The data is retrieved from the GFD. GFD is the Global Financial Development Database, which is the indicator of the WDI. The proxies which is used for financial stability is bank Z-score, bank non-performing loan to gross loan like NPLs, and the bank credit to bank deposit ratio. Next is independent variable. My study have three independent variables. First one is financial inclusion. The data is retrieved from the GFD, already discussed. Second is carbon emission. Data is retrieved from the WDI. Third one is ecological footprint, which data retrieved from the Global Footprint Network database. The proxies which is used for financial inclusion, we use the index which is developed by authors. Second, carbon emissions, CO2 metric tons per capita. Third one, Global Footprint Network, HGA, which is the unit of global footprint. Next is moderation. Moderating variable. My study have two moderating variable. One is institutional quality, which data is retrieved from the International Heritage Foundation database. The second is technological innovation, which data is retrieved from the WDI indicators. The praxis which is used for institutional quality, INSCO index used for technological innovation, mobile cellular subscription per 100 people, praxis are used. Now we move to model specification. My study have 9 models. Which technique is used primarily is MMQR. MMQR is the method of moment quantized regression, which is developed by Mercado and Selva 2019, which is the most recent technique. Study have 9 model. First model, we regress financial stability with financial inclusion, institutional quality, technological innovation, and one is control variable, which is digital finance. In second model, we regress financial stability with financial inclusion, institutional quality, technological innovation, digital finance, and one is interacting variable, which is the financial inclusion and the institutional quality. So in third model, we regress financial stability with financial inclusion, institutional quality, technological innovation, digital finance, and other interaction, which is the financial inclusion and the technological innovation. In fourth model, we use the other indicator of my study, which is the carbon emission. So we regress financial stability with carbon emissions, institutional quality, technological innovation, and control variable, which is the renewable energy. Now we move to fifth model, in which we regress financial stability with carbon emission, institutional quality, technological innovation, renewable energy, and interaction, which is the carbon emission and institutional quality. In sixth model, we regress financial stability with carbon emission, institutional quality, technological innovation, renewable energy, and other interaction, which is a carbon emission and technological innovation. In seventh model, we regress financial stability with ECFT. ECFT is an ecological footprint, which is the other indicator of environmental factors. So ECFT, institutional quality, technological innovation, and renewable energy. In model 8, we use the interaction, which is financial stability regressed with ECFT, ecological footprint, institutional quality, technological innovation, renewable energy, and interaction, which is the ECFT and the institutional quality. In last model, we regress financial stability with ECFT, institutional quality, technological innovation, renewable energy, and the ECFT and the technological innovation, which is the interaction of my study. Now we move to econometric study, which I used. First of all, data extraction. I have data extracted from the database reputable like WDI, Global Footprint Network, International Heritage Foundation, ठीक है ना, या RGFD. Then I have performed descriptive statistics. Afterwards, I have performed the unit row test. I have chosen two type of test, which is first generation, in which I use Level-Lenchu and Fisher chi-squares, and the second generation in which SIPS and CADF test. Then I have performed the panel co-integration, in which I have used Perroni and Cow test and Westerland co-integration test. Afterwards, I have performed the slope heterogeneity. For slope heterogeneity, I have used Pesran and Yamagata 2008 and Blomqvist and Westerland 2013 test. After this, I have performed the cross-sectional dependency test. 4 cross-sectional dependency are used: Pesran scaled, Bayes corrected scaled, and Pesran CD test. After this, I have run the main technique of my study, which is the MMQR, which presents the quantized regression. After this, I have checked the robustness through CSARDL, and the last causality test, Hall and causality test are used for causality. Now we move to diagnostic test of my study. First of all, for data normality, I have used the Jarki-Bera 1987. The null hypothesis is rejected, which shows that the data is not normal, which is the valuation of Wallace assumption. Second, stationarity test. For stationarity test, I have used the Level-Lenchu and Fisher chi-square and SIPS and CADF. In this scenario, also the null hypothesis is rejected and the data has stationarity. After this, I have performed cross-sectional dependency test. Cross-sectional dependency 4 tests are used: Broshan Pagan LM test, Pesran scaled, Bayes corrected, and the Pesran CD test. In these tests, the null hypothesis is rejected, which shows that the cross-sectional dependency is existed, which is other valuation of the OLS assumption. So afterward, I have performed cointegration test. For cointegration test, I have performed Padronic out test, Westell and cointegration test. These tests shows that null hypothesis also rejected. That means cointegration existed between the variables. Afterward, I have performed slope of heterogeneity test for heterogeneous effect. For this, Pesran and Yamagata 2018, Blomquist and Westell and 2013 tests are used. These tests show, in this test, null hypothesis is rejected, which shows that heterogeneity existed in my model. In the last, I have used VIF test for multicollinearity. In these tests, we have failed to reject null hypothesis, which means that multicollinearity does not exist in this scenario. So on the basis of these assumptions, in which we have valued the OLS assumption, like our data is not normal, our data has cross-sectional dependency, has heterogeneity, so we use the most recent technique, which is MMQR, method of moment quantile regression. This technique is developed by Makado and Silva 2019. This is a quantile regression and especially convenient when the relation between dependent and independent variable changes within the conditional distribution of the formal. So here is the result of my study. So we discuss the result model wise. First of all, for the first model, in which we regress financial stability with institutional quality, technological innovation and digital finance. About financial inclusion. Financial inclusion has significant and positive effect on financial stability at the initial quantile. If we move to upper quantile, this relationship also significant. If we talk about institutional quality also significant and positive impact on financial stability and lower quantile, and this relationship also significant in upper quantiles. Thank you so much.